Hello, welcome to Accounting 2010 Chapter 2 videos, Video 3, Posting and the Unadjusted Trial Balance. So in Video 2, we took the time to analyze some of the beginning journal entries, the beginning transactions for Runner's Roost, and these were some of the journal entries that we found. And so in Video 3, we're going to take this one step further and post those journal entries. But let's go ahead and take a look at an Excel spreadsheet where we could practice those one more time just to give us an idea of what was going on. So I'm going to jump out and take you into Excel. And here you can see the basic information that we had recorded in the previous video. And I don't have any of that English text in front of me, but I can from memory or just at looking at the placement of these different accounts tell the story, translate back to English. So on July 1st, we see that we have a debit because the word cash is all the way to the left. We know that's a debit. And by the way, a good time to tell you debits always go first. You never list credits first. They will be done incorrectly. We go from the left to the right. So on the first, remember we contributed $10,000 in cash and Runner's Roost gave $10,000 in common stock. So we go ahead and we debited cash, credited stock. Alejandro came in, wanted to be part of our company, said I'm going to donate some money I'm going to donate some of my computers if you'll give me some stock. There's Alejandro's contribution. Then we had our friend Irina say, I can go ahead and do the paperwork and do all those legal duties for you. And I will be happy to exchange that for some stock. And I believe Irina gave us about $2,000 worth of legal services. And we called that as an expense. We said it was an expense of starting our company. Then we went out and we bought that insurance in case some students decide they're going to maybe file a lawsuit. They didn't get the grades that they wanted to, so we prepaid some insurance, and that was an asset. So that's everything we did in the previous video. But now we've got to take a look and say, all right, now we've got this nice story and we're reading through it, but how much is in my cash account? I mean, right now I've only got a couple of transactions, but what if I had pages? If I could just scroll down, what if this whole thing was filled with transactions? How in the world would I know what was in that cash account? So what I could do is I can go ahead and go to the T accounts, my ledger. There's a general ledger, and I can move it over, post it. So before we do that, I want to show you something. In accounting, we not only have account titles, but we can assign a number. And that number, the beginning numbers, say ones, could indicate that those are assets. Twos may indicate that they are liabilities. We could have threes be our equity, fours be revenue, or fives could be revenue, sixes expenses. But that beginning number can indicate to us what general type of account, and then the following information can tell us specifically which account. So now not only do we have a name, but a number that ties to each account. And that helps us when we're posting. So we have not talked about this column right here, and this is post reference. And what post reference does is allows us to make sure that we don't forget that we have posted something or not. So let's just go ahead and take a look. We're in our general journal. We have the summary. We've got cash, $10,000. We want to move that into a general ledger, and we're going to post it. And then we're going to reference where we posted it. So $10,000 debit cash. Let's go into our ledger. We see the cash account. 100 is the number. We can go ahead and put it on the debit side. $10,000. And we did it under the 100 cash account. I can go ahead and put 100 in the post reference. And I can see then in the general journal it has been posted. And also we can go ahead right here and we could reference in the ledger where that came from, what date in the general journal, and we know it came from July 1st, 2015. That would tell us, if we're looking in the ledger, where to find the journal entry from which it came, and if we're looking in the general journal, we can find out where we posted it. Now we're going to go down and we're going to post the common stock, $10,000. Where is our common stock in the ledger? There it is, account 360, $10,000 on the credit side. And that was done on 7/1/2015. We've made note, and then we can go back and put that common stock account number 360 in the post reference. And we can continue to do that. So let's just very quickly post all of our entries. Computer, debit, goes into the computer, an asset account, there it is, $5,000, one that came from the general journal of 7/1/2015. Let's go ahead and go back to the journal, and the account number on those computers, number 130. Let's go ahead and recode. We've got a posting reference. Common stock, we know it's account 360. We'll go ahead. We issued more common stock. Let's add it. Oh, we're getting lots of common stock. And that was on the 1st. So we're giving out equity in our company. What's our balance right now on common stock? Well, it increases on the right, so we would add them together. We've got $15,000 in there right now. We're summarizing it. Common stock 360. Let's go ahead and record that it's been posted. 360. Now we've got that legal fees expense. Let's go ahead and find it. Where is it? Legal fees expense, account 602. Expenses increased on the debit side. It was $2,000 worth of legal expenses on the 1st of July. And then we can go ahead, and it's number 602. Let's record, post, reference it. There's our referencing post. And there we are, another common stock. So let's go ahead. That was issued to Irina, I believe. Common stock for Irina's contribution, $2,000. Now, do you see? We're summarizing that common stock account so we can quickly and easily see how much is in it. And that is common stock account 360. We can cross-reference that it has now been all posted. Our final was that prepaid insurance that we bought. Let's go ahead and see what that is. Prepaid insurance, account 106. Increase of prepaid insurance for $1,200 on the 2nd of July. We can go ahead and add that in. And now we have prepaid insurance. We can post-reference that, 106. That's the account number. Cash came out. Cash came out. Let's take a look. Now, where do we put it if cash came out? If it comes in on the debit, if it goes out on the credit, we can go ahead and record that. That happened on the 2nd of July. We can post that reference in our general journal of the account for cash, which was 100. And now we have posted all of those transactions. So here's Dear Diary. Then we can prove that we have moved them over. We cross-reference dates. We can go ahead in Excel, and if we double-click up here for this row, or excuse me, column, we can increase it so we can see those dates. But now we have a way to summarize what is in each account. And we can just simply do that by adding on the adding side and subtracting anything out on the subtraction side so that we can see what the balance is. In Excel, if we click the equal sign, click the cell that we want to use to subtract numbers from, minus, because this was plus, minus the credit side, we have a balance in the cash account of $8,800. That is what our balance is at the end of these transactions. Let's take a look. What's in our prepaid? Do we have any subtractions? No. So we just carry down that balance. How about computers? Do we have any subtractions? No. So we can carry down that balance. How about on common stock? What have we got there? We've got a lot of additions. This is a plus side, credit side. 10,000 plus 5,000 plus 2,000. In Excel, we can go ahead and do an equal sign and sum it one by one, or we can go up and do auto sum and select those numbers which we want to add together, and Excel will add it for us. Now we've got legal fees expense, only one number, we can carry it down. That is the balance of our legal fees expense. Now the final step in chapter 2 is to go ahead and move each of these total balances, these ending balances, to see if our left equals our right, if our debits equal our credits. So we're going to go unadjusted trial balance. And we call it an unadjusted trial balance because we are going to be doing in chapter 3 adjustments. And I will talk about that then. So for chapter 2, we only were dealing with how many accounts? The cash, the prepaid insurance, computers, common stock, legal fees expense. So we can go ahead and write those accounts in right now. We have got cash, and I believe we had prepaid insurance. Then we had the next account. What was it? Let's take a quick peek. Oh, those computers. We've got computers. And we list and group these all in the same categories. We've got our assets going on. Do we have any other assets? Well, not at this point. We might have some supplies later. There could be other assets. Then we're going to go ahead and list any liabilities. Assets, liabilities. Did we have liabilities, those 200s? Not yet. Now we're going to go to the 300, the equity accounts. Do we have equity? We sure do. We've got common stock. So let's go ahead and list our common stock. And the fourth account and the last account in these few problems was the legal fees expense. We'll have expenses at the end. And there's a very specific reason we do this, and I will talk about more in the next chapter. So let's go ahead and write the total balances at the end of these transactions. We had $8,880 sitting in cash, debit or credit side. Debit side, let's put 88800. Okay, did we have a balance in that prepaid? We did. Debit or credit side, debit 1200. How about our computer account? Did we have anything in the computer account? Yep, 5,000. Let's move it in there. 5,000. Common stock. How much equity had we gotten in our company? $17,000. $17,000 worth of assets came into our company, and we exchanged it for common stock. But what side? Debit or credit? Credit side. Let's go ahead and put that number in the credit side. It's going to help us balance left equal right. And finally, that legal fees, expense. Where did our expenses go up? Debit or credit side? Expenses went up on the credit side, or debit side, I'm sorry, $2,000. So this is where we hold our breath. This is where we say, did all those things I did, all those transactions recorded, all those postings, how's it looking? Is my left equaling my right? Let's go ahead and sum it. Sum all of these numbers. $17,000. Let's go ahead and sum the right side. $17,000. We know at least that we have made our debits and our credits equal each other. Does that mean we are error-free? Well, not exactly. We could have put something in the wrong account, or we could have inadvertently written the wrong number in the same made a debit and a credit of the wrong number. What do I mean? What if I had inadvertently put in that my prepaid insurance was $1,200? Or excuse me, I inadvertently said it was 1,000 when it was 1,200, and I put 1,000 in both areas. Well, it still could balance out, but it still would be incorrect. But theoretically, we at least know that the debits equal the credits. We have an unadjusted trial balance that is in balance, and we should now be comfortable to go on and make our adjusting entries. In Chapter 3, we will be talking about adjusting entries. Thank you.